Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's pick a card is going to be an interesting one, or pick a pile. We're going to find out which dragon has chosen you in your current dragon path. So we're going to figure out technically, I guess, the actual path, the lesson, what you don't see. We'll go into whatever we discover in these oracle cards that are here for you first, that we'll be looking at first. We'll look at the tarot, Dancing in the Dark tarot and vice versa tarot, to find out what's currently going on, how you've been experiencing it, etc. And then we'll end it off with the archetype card for your guidance or your help as you continue or to finish this path. All right, my lovelies. So for pile 1, you have mutilated quartz, pile 2, you have aqua, marine, and pile 3, pretty sure this is hematite. If not, I will write down what it is after. Okay, my lovelies, those are your choices. Take a second, see which crystal resonated with you the most, and I'll see you at your choice. Welcome, my pile 1. All right, my loves, let's find out which dragon has chosen you. Beauty. You have the peace dragon. So the peace dragon generally comes up when, well, technically she's asking you to be kinder to yourself. You might be pushing yourself too hard, whether that's in your life or in your home. You might be missing out on the simplicity or the beauty of life when you might have become too or become a little, sorry for this choice of words, like self-absorbed in a way that there's too much focus on doing is what I'm getting. You might have forgotten a sense of who you truly are. So I'm going to read a message or a passage from the book for her, from her to you. She says, "Allow me to pull together your scattered energies so that you can feel a sense of peace enter your soul. Every situation has a legacy, but alas, occasionally it can take a little time to appreciate or understand this fully. Let my presence help release any negative feelings, for you are truly a creator and are immensely powerful. By allowing grace or peace to enter your soul, your spirit, you're allowing for more light to be carried within you." Her main message is, if you want to be able to allow some of this peace, is you have to relinquish control. Allow the flow. So peace is the dragon that has chosen you. It seems that the path is to let go of some control. You've been overworking or working too hard, been missing the bigger picture, so to speak, or the simple picture, the smaller picture possibly. Might have a tendency or a want to control things, so allow peace into you so you can carry more light and release some of this weight. Let's see what this lesson is about then. High Priestess of Water. What I heard first was emotional balance. I'm feeling this sort of emotional neglect. That's sort of the feeling I'm getting. So the energy, I suppose, or part of the lesson, or the energy within the lesson that I'm feeling here has to do a lot with regulating the emotions and really looking at the emotions. There's a sense of an avoidance here when it comes to a particular type of emotion that ends up being replaced by duty or work. It's interesting. Let's see what else. And then listening. Darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. That's so interesting, because when I read the light does not always bring good, there's an interesting feeling here of when peace said, if you open yourself up to allow peace in, you'll allow more light to come in and feel lighter. And there's a feeling here again about that releasing the control. It's like, just because I feel lighter doesn't mean that it's good, you know? Like, I don't know, there's a feeling here about, again, resistance or that control element quite possibly. So the lesson here on a more emotional aspect here is to listen to the emotions of your soul to bring yourself peace. Because if I am feeling your energy correctly, and this is a correct pile for you energetically, or everything just resonates, regardless if it fully makes sense or not, there is this feeling of needing to listen to what your higher self emotionally is feeling or trying to communicate with you to allow yourself some more of this, I don't know, comfortability or peace within. Let's see what you don't see, the Magi. Yeah, I'm feeling like that the hands at play is what I'm getting, but your support team, the ancestral realm, your own personal magic too, your ability to be able to do all the things that you are doing, however, but there's something about you being able to practice this on yourself right now. Practice this magical ability to transmute and transform what you may have been avoiding that would allow you some peace. Interesting. So my love, the dragon that's with you, as we said, is peace. Your lesson has to do around emotional listening, emotional balance, no longer avoiding and releasing control in some area of your life. All right, so let's find out through the tarot what's a little bit more context about your lesson that feels this emotional listening. I just heard this deeper sense of knowing that there's a problem, and a part of that need to control is sort of like blindly trying to fix something that one doesn't quite understand yet. So you don't necessarily have all of the tools or the information for you to be able to effectively handle whatever it is that is misunderstood or still needing some time or some wisdom. We have the we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have Strength in the reverse. We have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. And the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. The Queen of Swords in the reverse. The Knight of Swords in the reverse. I swear my deck's not all reverse. I promise. The Five of Swords in the reverse. Excuse me, sorry. Ooh. And Death. They told me in the reverse. It feels like sideways, but yeah. Okay, so let me take this in. Okay, taking in the first row, the energy I'm feeling here feels like your perspective. It feels like there's been like very slow movement or slow progress or slow growth in some regard, and very well can deal specifically when it comes to work or just your material world. It feels like you have a lack of confidence, or yeah, straight, that's the wording, a lack of confidence in the ability for them to produce what you need at the caliber, excuse me, at the caliber that you expect. Very phlegmy for you guys. Apologies. So, my lovelies, if we're talking about some of this control energy or listening to the emotions, maybe it has also to do with listening to the emotions of others, being a little bit more adept or sensitive to the other methods people produce, possibly the same level of expertise you expect, but they have to go about it in a different way. Let's see what the second row has to offer. We have the Queen of Swords in the reverse, the Knight of Swords in the reverse, the Five of Swords in the reverse, and the Death card in the reverse. So it feels, my lovely, that there's been like some sort of, feels like a tyrant type of energy. Yeah, I can't word it any other way. There feels like a type of tyrant boss energy that delegates, that says yes or no, has the last word or the last say. And it feels like, I don't know why I'm getting this such a work scenario right now, but they're like giving me a whole like scene that the work or the efforts from the others tend to get thwarted. Like it's not, and quickly shut down. That's the feeling. I don't know if this is you receiving this energy, but it feels like you are a part of this boss energy in some regard. And the Five of Swords in the reverse is good, where there's like, you know, this lack of fight back, so to speak, or conflict anymore. But if it comes to this boss energy, it's sort of like you end up always getting, like I said, the last word, the last say. So there's just this repetition of the energy keeping you in this uncomfortable state of not allowing yourself to step into peace or into ease and to trust, to be honest. Again, I apologize. I don't shoot the messenger. This is just, you have a lot of power. That's the point. And right now, the level of your power or your expertise or expectation might need to be more of a gradual progression into that, understanding that energy, as opposed to them needing to understand it right away and stepping into it without making a mistake. There is a fear of that within this energy. And again, it feels a little bit more like you are more in control, because they're telling you to let go of the control. And it feels like the energies of the employees or your workers or the people who work around you, for you, etc., or help you even, whether that's family or not, whether that's this home or work, you know, there is this dominance, and it feels as a tyrant. That's what it feels like to the outside energies. Oof. I'm sorry to deliver that message, but this is what it feels like. It's how it's been playing out, which is contributing to your lack of feeling at ease. So they're asking you to listen to the emotions of others and yourself, to read the situations over or again, or look more deeply, or ask more questions. Maybe approach it more gently. Because swords can be very cutting, especially in the reverse. Interesting. Let's see an extra layer. I don't know what I want to ask for this, but let's ask, how can we merge these energies better for a better outcome? Okay, let's get it. So whatever side it lands on, because this is the vice versa tarot, we'll take. and it has to follow. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups. I'd say the Tower. We don't do reversals. The Tower. Yeah. Judgment. All right. This is good, Pałan. Okay, so what I'm seeing first is an apology. It's an apology. That's the first and foremost, the olive branch, the offering up, the recognition of, the accountability, the participation in, to prevent further, wow, yes, to prevent further destruction from occurring. You have a lightning moment or an opportunity to fix or reconstruct or correct some of the past damage that has been done. If you see the other side here, you know, shit's already hit the fan. Judgment's been made. Done, you know? So you have this opportunity, if you allow yourself to offer up that olive branch, that forgiveness, that gentle opening, you know, then you can resurrect, have a second chance, you know, at giving them the opportunity to show you, to serve in the way that they'd like to serve, you know, and produce the same wonderful and glorious results. As you see here, you're walking into that judgment here. You have that opportunity. Will you allow it to crack? Will you produce a new creative, a new creative opportunity? There is rebirth here. You're not stepping into that full judgment yet, you know? You have that opportunity to fix something. That's what I really feel with this. And will you take that opportunity is ultimately, naturally, as they're saying, is up to you. But if you do take that route, beautiful, Ten of Pentacles, which we're talking about legacy, work, harmony. And this also feels like, you know, in better control of your environment, of your world. It doesn't feel like this tyrant's energy. It feels more like a wise sage, old man that's been through a lot. Political wisdom, spiritual wisdom, that kind of energy. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, a stronger foundation, a better community, more inviting is the word. That's beautiful. Let's see what's underneath the deck over here for what's going on. Yeah, the Two of Wands, needing to make that a better plan, which we've talked about here. And that part of that plan is for you to, in my opinion, to apologize or to have a conversation at the very least to find out, you know, what could be altered and changed. Have an honest, open conversation with all involved. And then perfect, underneath this deck, you have the Ace of Wands. Like we said, a new opportunity just to create something new. New creative energy imbued and infused into the not so nice before energy, you know, or uncomfortable energies. Beautiful. Let's see where you actually are on this dragon's path thus far. As we all know, dragons are benevolent, but they teach hard lessons and they don't sugarcoat things. So let's see where you are. We have play. Take risks. I heard try to take risks in how you approach this new scenario that you're wanting to, this old scenario that you're wanting to create a new scenario with. That's where the risk is, in how you approach this scenario, this situation, the people involved. Side note, anyways, the revolutionary and compassion. So my love, so where you are on this particular dragon's path is you're trying to find, like we said, a new way to play within these energies. And for you to find that, you have to take a risk that might feel very different, out of the box, uncomfortable for you, which is again that apologizer, so to speak. That could be it, don't get me wrong, or it could just be something unconventional specifically for you. But what it all leads to is a deeper sense of compassion for the environment, for yourself, for others. So this already felt like it explained that for sure. And this is just reconfirming, I should say, where you're actually at presently in this dragon's path. That's really lovely. Amazing. Let's see your final card, which is going to be your help as you continue to finish this particular path, as you're approaching that. And we have, oh, look at this. The Destroyer. How interesting. I freaking love that though. Jokes. It's the unexpected, the savage, the rejected. It's like necessary but painful work. This is what this is. It's exactly what this is. Necessary but painful work. Possibly having to deal with or confront your aversion to endings, or the way things, again, that let go of the control, you know, of the way things are done, or the way things can be done. It's the Destroyer pulls, it's that energy that pulls the rug, that tower energy out from under us, whether that be with your relationships, your job, your home, your form of security. But it is the part of us that wants things to end, which is hence why peace is here. I want to bring you this peace, and you need to destroy some of what has been done before it really crumbles, you know? Or is it supposed to? I'm not sure. You have to uncover the true purpose of what, you know, is making you not feel at ease listening, right? So this is a necessary part. So they're asking you to embrace this. Can you? Will you? That's what we talked about this. Will you take that opportunity? It's ultimately up to you. So the Destroyer is here to help you destroy what needs to be destroyed within your approach and within the environment, possibly, or both, you know? So embrace this. They're here for you, though. Grace. Peace is here. Another dragon named Grace might be significant for you too. Because I kept saying Grace. Either way, my lovelies, I hope that was helpful to find out what part of your dragon's path that you're on and which dragon has chosen you. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, ciao. Welcome, my beautiful Paltus who chose the Aqua Stone. Let's find out what your dragon path, or excuse me, the dragon that has chosen you first. Ooh, lovely. We have Gaia. Amazing. So Gaia's energy is about the Earth Keeper, the keeper of ancient knowledge. It talks about any sort of group activity, grounding your energy, nurturing and supporting the planet and its inhabitants. But I'm going to read a small passage. Gaia has chosen you. I am the etheric body of your planet. I urge you to protect her and all who dwell upon her. I will guide you into restoring balance. What is done cannot be undone, and alas, some things are gone forever. Have courage to stand up for what you believe in, your heart to be true, and I will stand with you. You can be that change. Call upon her support when you are working on new projects and need to anchor its energy fully. You can invoke her wisdom with any form of group working, when any form of group working is taking place. She is also here now to help ground the frequencies of the fifth dimension and above, which are coming into the consciousness. She will guide us when we are ready to reignite the light of the Earth's grids. The deep healing this invokes will help Gaia and us as humans to build peace on Earth and a future that is sustainable. I love that for you, Pyle, too. So Gaia has chosen you for, especially when it comes to collective worth, protection of this planet and its inhabitants, to ground in your energy. All right, let's figure out what the lesson here is. Love. Frick yeah, it is. That's amazing. And letting go. How beautiful. This brought me back to the line, alas, what is gone cannot, what is done cannot be undone. You know, so it's about that loving the cyclical nature of life and death. It's about allowing the heart to open and to close, knowing what that feels like, to let go, trying to remain, what's the wording? Receptive to the alterations of love and of self and of the earth and of planet. There is a sense of protecting the essence of what Gaia is talking to you today about, protecting that core, the core essence of what she's talking to you today about. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today. And allowing yourself to unlock the true potential of all inhabitants that come in contact with the service of serving Earth, serving humanity, understanding the beauty of letting go of endings and cycles for there to be space to create something new, something sustainable. Interesting. All right, let's see what you don't see. Soul work. Wow. The first feeling I got was there could be a sense or a feeling from you that you feel that the work that you are doing doesn't really aid to your soul's development or soul's growth or soul's needs. And it could be you perceiving the work that you have done and are doing as not enough. And that's a little bit less of a feeling, just not enough, and you might be wanting to just do more and more and more. There is something that's very entwined here in the love of the letting go. The beauty in that love of letting go. Because ultimately it creates space for new creation. That's beautiful. I'm going to take a little pause here while I... Interesting. Okay, so if that's the case, I just heard also understanding the variations on how one can love. And part of that is letting go. Interesting. Okay, so then let's go into the tarot and find out a little bit more. All right, my loves, let's get into the tarot. We'll put a candle in there when she cools down a little bit. Let's get into the tarot and find out what is it about this lesson, this letting go, that I'm feeling the most strongly about here first. But it's going to let us know how it's sort of playing out, possibly from the external perspective. That's how it played out in pile 1, but we'll see. We have the Lovers. Seven of Swords. We have the Moon. The Empress. The Devil. Oh my goodness. Oh shoot, pile 2. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Five of Cups. Okay, both. All right. Hierophant. That came out with Ten of Wands in the reverse. Wow. Let me take this in, Paul, too. Interesting. Okay, my loves. So when I was being forced, I should say, that's sort of not forced in a bad way, but forced to really look at the love and letting go, the different ways of love, learning the endings or the cycles of things, or trusting in the beauty of the endings of things. And sometimes the most loving thing to do is to let go. And it is lending to the same energies that have come out in your tarot cards from my perspective. The first row feels like your energy, specifically my viewer. The bottom row primarily feels like the other person involved or persons involved, but it feels like a person in particular. And then the collective or your combined energy on the last card over there. Okay, so if we're talking about any group activity, the gatekeeper, so to speak, the ancient wisdom keeper, the nurturing, the grounding in. So if Gaia is coming in for you, and if that the main focus as of what I'm seeing here is this particular dragon's path that you're on, and the lesson that you're learning here, which is about love and letting go, is a part of the soul work. You know, so Gaia is coming in, Dragon Gaia is coming in for you to help ground, keep that wisdom, stand in your power, understand when it is appropriate and necessary and better, and for the betterment of new creative growth, of new growth and period, new love, possibly. So with the lovers here, the Seven of Swords, the Moon, and the Empress, it's what I'm feeling here is you put a lot of effort and energy into whatever this connection or energy, unity, dynamic was. It feels like you got slighted, got manipulated to some degree, or slighted, duped, stolen from in some regard when it comes to the emotional well-being of what this dynamic entailed or encompassed. The interesting thing about this energy, though, is that in the first row, it feels like you handled it well, is what I'm feeling. You handled it with grace. There was a lot of things that you kept to yourself. However, you still honored that emotional need for you to really step into your power. Like on a subconscious level is what I'm feeling here. This bottom energy with the devil underneath the lovers, again, this codependency, a mismatch sort of when it comes to the vibrational feeling from what I feel from you from what I feel from this bottom row. There was some sort of strange attachment to some area or aspect of the physicality of the dynamic or relationship. So either this person went outside of the marriage or the dynamic to find some other pleasures. Oh my God. My deepest apologies, pile 2. So many interruptions for your pile, and this feels similar to the energy. A lot of interruptions or something that happened in between here. As I said, feels like somebody went out of the dynamic when it comes to something physical about the relationship. There is guilt and regret on their end, and it almost feels as if you didn't actually really retaliate. You know, it wasn't like you showed some overly expressive display of emotion in any regard. It feels like you just picked up your shit and left. Like that's what this energy feels like. So again, finding a sense of beauty in this letting go. Very clear that if this is your dynamic, I understand that this is not an easy process, but it's almost like you've had enough. Like you've just had enough. And there is this guilt and this shame is what I feel from this energy. And again, with the Hierophant and then the Ten of Wands in the reverse, like not wanting to deal with any of this fucking baggage and burden anymore. And this Empress is just like I said, like walking strong in her path, which is a part of this dragon's path, which is a part of the soul work, which is a part of everything that you're already doing. So externally, this is what I feel like kind of a part of the scenario or the situation or the emotional weight of what happened It was a deep bond was broken by mistrust and abuse of either language, of, you know, gaslighting or lying, manipulation, whatever the case is, you know, that kind of abuse of assuming that you wouldn't figure it out or wouldn't get caught. That kind of naivety within it. It's almost like they got a little too proud. Or you're just like, I've already seen the signs and I've already been so forgiving to so many times in the past that I need to learn how to let go. That might be a deeper lesson with this Gaia energy. And a part of the soul work was to have to go through this type of experience for you to understand that you are lacking nothing in this respect, that you deserve more. And what you allowed, possibly, what you allowed, either knowing or unknowingly, to stay in a dynamic that was not fulfilling or giving you what you deserved and how to feel loved. This is interesting. What's underneath the deck? We have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, like you're like, F it, I'm out. Like, F this noise. I don't need to be a part of this. And it was clear, and I think the actions is what feels cutthroat. Again, like there was some sort of, okay, done. Like there was no conversation is what I'm trying to say. No conversation. You just bounced. That's what this feels like. This is interesting. Sorry about this very specific scenario, but apply the energies however they may apply. Interesting. So let's go into the after tarot, or the vice versa, excuse me, not after tarot. I'm actually going to ask, where are you walking towards? Like, what are you walking towards now? Because that's what this feels like. It feels like a surety, my love. Like, I understand that this is a very sensitive and difficult emotion to deal with, regardless, whatever end that you might be on in this particular spectrum. However, I'm feeling, like I said, your energy is this. Like her poise, her stance, her confidence, her gaze, her stride. You know, like that's what I feel for you right now. That's the energy. And I'm like, where are you walking to? Like, what are you walking towards now? Knowing this, standing in your power, in your worth, walking that dragon's path. Whatever side it lands is a side I take. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. The King of Wands, technically in the reverse, so is the Wheel of Fortune. Or am I wrong? Hold on, let me double check. I said both. Okay. We have the King of Pentacles and the Magician. Yeah. Woo. So, my lovely, what you're walking towards now is stability within self first and flipping the wheels of fate. That's what this feels like. It's almost as if, like, I don't need anything from you. That's what this feels like. And your energy feels like I'm turning my back now towards this overly charismatic, thinks below the belt first, or just needs or has a higher propensity for that type of engagement, regardless of what that is. No judgments. But what I truly feel is that you're turning your back on a characteristic or personality type or something like that, and now your focus is on you, on building you. And as you build that you, that manifestation of you, that right energy for you now comes in. It's like, it's almost as if, again, I think all of these major, or the court cards, are all interchangeable when it comes to what they can lend to each other, even if they're not of the same suit. However, as I said, when they normally show up together, it is their ultimate match. And it feels like you've always been sort of this Queen of Pentacles with the King of Wands energy in the reverse, you know? And ultimately now you are finally meeting that right match for you, whether that is romantically, whether that is in a job dynamic, whether that is just in a social or friendly environment. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it feels like you're meeting the right match for you, and you're actually conjuring that in. You're the manifester of that because this is what you're walking towards. You're choosing now to walk towards that, no longer accepting what you may have been accepting in the past. So again, allowing for new love, this new creation because of a letting go that ultimately develops the soul for better connections. Like I said, the change of fate. I love that. Interesting. Okay, let's see with these cards over here where you actually are on this dragon's path. Currently, of course. Withdrawn, of course. We know this. Transmute, yep. The pillar, yeah, man. I just like they're sentencing it to me. They're like, you withdraw to transmute the energies because you have always been that pillar. That is why there's so much shame and guilt here. They're recognizing that they broke a bond. For what? A bang? Okay. And then get curious, which is where I feel this new energy comes in for you, especially when that color change. You can see that here, that bright purple. You know, that sort of echoes to this purple over here. So what I'm feeling here, my lovelies, again, as we said, you've walked away, you're walking towards something, and that's that withdrawal energy. You've transmuted, which is aiding to this soul work, what you felt about the dynamic, about letting go, the ending of cycles, etc., etc. And you are now becoming your own pillar, standing strong for yourself. That ultimately brings you into this beautiful new energy that you can allow yourself to get curious with. That's exciting. That's exciting. Underneath your deck, you have the Five of Pentacles over here. What's this? Okay, so it feels like when it comes to this energy, because this is the despair, technically, but you're inside and warm. This one here is still in that beggar energy. And I feel that beggar energy possibly could have more to do with this lower energy over here. It's almost like a feeling of they're going to want to come back to you in some regard, you know, and you're not having it because you have the High Priestess back turned. You're like, nope, I already know. I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. Nobody's going backwards now. Like, that's what this energy feels like. Damn, pile two. Holy schmollies. Okay, I hope I caught on to the energies of pile two, or the majority of it, or I explained it in a way that made sense, not just for a love dynamic, but in any sort of deep bonded relationship. All right, let's get your help as you continue on this path, as Gaia continues to help you. What else is your help as you finish this path? Anima Mundi, talk about that world energy. Talk about completions. Wow. Ending cycles. The last card in this deck, you know, oh wow, it's so synchronistic. I love it. That soul of the world, all that is. It's that energy of accept all, reject none. And I think that's about this get curious energy. You know, you're stepping into that for sure. Diversity is celebrated. Nothing is denied. All is multifaceted and multidimensional. It's that link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythical. Again, this is talking about initiation on the soul level, which we've been talking about, all the soul work, my love. This is something necessary that you needed to go through. I feel that very deeply. Yeah, there's like destiny is altered, just exactly like I said, change of fate. That's what's happening here. That's your help to know that this is all happening for a reason. You're being initiated into this new phase of you, transmuting that energy, you know, to step into that beautiful accept all, reject none energy in a different way, because your power is different. You are different. Oh, that's so good, Pyle. I hope that gave you some insight onto the dragon path that you're currently on and the dragon that is with you. I'm sending you so much love, my lovelies. Until next time, ciao. Welcome, my pal threes, who I said hematite, and hematite's over here. This is actually black agate, just so that you know. So let's find out which dragon has chosen you and what dragon path you're on. Nice. We have Merlin the dragon. How beautiful. So Merlin is the teacher of all teachers in this deck in particular, and of the dragons. Very large-scale dragon. Shape-shifting dragon, can be in human form, angelic form, dragon form, to my memory. The main I guess sole lesson of the Merlin dragon is to teach, to learn, to experience, to gather information, to conjure. So I'm going to read a small passage from the book. Let's see what Merlin has to say to you. Not all things are as they seem, some images being reflected back to you in order for you to understand discernment and learn the lessons of self-trust. Only once you have done this will you discover how to stand in your own power and own who you truly are. He also says, Merlin is the teacher of teachers, so heed his wise counsel. You are unable to teach others until you fully understand the lessons yourself. Once you have mastered these, you are in a position of clarity and ownership and can share your wisdom with integrity and power. Until then, hold your tongue and continue your journey, discovering what you need to learn. The forever student, the teacher. So right now I think that Merlin is really referencing, I suppose, the need for you to, I feel like the main energy is for you to remain in that student energy, into that curious energy, into that student energy again. Try not to prematurely teach lessons that have not fully been integrated, is what I'm getting here. So let's see what this lesson is about. The oath. Wow, pal 3. I just had the urge to ring the bell. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, there's a calling is what I'm hearing. There's an oath that you've already pledged is what the wording. And that pledge is to knowledge, that is to helping from a place of integrity and genuine curiosity for truth, for alchemy, for transformation. Interesting. Okay. Wow. And then we have success. I love that. Love, 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 love that. So it feels like for you to find the success in what you're looking for, you have to stay vigilant with the oath that you made. Keep that oath. However, is the oath tying you down? Is the oath restricting you in some way? So are there certain oaths that may need to be broken, certain contracts that need to be re-looked at for success? Interesting. Let's see what you don't see. The higher perspective. Okay. All right. So Merlin has that higher perspective for you. That's why he's here. That's why the dragon is here. And that higher perspective here is the reminder of the oath for the success. So either that oath to self in some regard, and if that oath to self in some way, based on some of the promises you have in this 3D realm, is contradictory to that original oath, you're going to have to give up some of those other oaths. I hope that makes sense. Interesting. Okay, well, let's see then with the tarot. What is it about this oath? Or is that the right question? Like, we're going to see the dragon's path. Like, this is the dragon's path, but that we're going to find out with this tarot. But it has to do with your oath. And is it the oath to this journey to the path? Or is it another oath to self? There's something interesting about that? Well, let's find out. Okay, Ace of Cups in the reverse. We have the Moon and the Lovers that came out together. We have the Nine of Swords. And the Chariot. The Star. Wow. Double cards on this one. This is interesting. The Sun and the Six of Cups. It's interesting how double cards came out in the same placement here. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. That came out with the Six of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Seven of Cups. All right, pile 3, let me take in these cards for a minute. For me, at first, it feels like there's something you may not have fully been honoring. And I think it's coming back to this higher perspective and this oath. And if the oath has, like I said, if Merlin has any indication of or inclination to what this oath is about, he's already talked about like the teacher of all teachers, you know? So it's about that student, that teacher, that lesson, those knowledge, that information, that contract, that promise. And there's something about that promise that I feel like as of late or recently you have not fully been honoring. Fully. It doesn't mean that you haven't been, it just hasn't fully been honoring. And there's a lot, I'm not sure if some sort of emotional addition, there's something about running away from something. That's what this is. It feels like you weren't emotionally vulnerable with something that could have allowed you some sort of success. You know, there's a feeling of the anxiety or the anxiousness that got into your head, and then it sort of kept you stagnant or prevented you from taking a step forward or moving towards a victorious end of whatever that you were looking for that success. So there's something about you missing, like I said, like not fully honoring, missing something here that would ultimately get you to the success. And it's about honoring something. And that feels, as of right now, like about an emotion, honoring a particular emotion, a particular feeling that you may have, like I said, ignored or repressed or didn't pay enough attention to, that is now formulated in anxiousness or anxiety in the head, indecision, sleepless nights, possibly even nightmares associated with this stagnation or lack of movement. And really desperately wanting to, you know. And then the underneath here layer with the Star, clarifying that Ace of Cups in the reverse, it's like the healing and the energy and the right ingredients are here technically for you to be able to step into your sun and reclaim what you felt you let go of, lost, didn't take hold of, or just missed an opportunity in some way with that Sun and Six of Cups. And then this Seven of Pentacles, like frustrated with the plan or the speed of which things didn't happen or did happen, and then you weren't victorious, but it feels like you are or will be in the process of healing all of this as you understand this more about yourself, understanding where you may have not allowed yourself the opportunity to shine and hid your emotions and your true feelings and let an opportunity possibly pass you by. It feels like they just want you to understand and learn from that and just continue to move forward and not be thwarted by the plans that didn't work in the past and how you may have felt hurt. Your ego may have been hurt also, but strictly not successful, not victorious within what you actually desired, which has left you in somewhat of a confused state, or I want to say wishful thinking in some areas. So, I know that these are hard lessons to hear, don't get me wrong, but like I said, Merlin is a teacher of all teachers, and we won't be able to teach this until we fully have integrated this particular lesson, that higher perspective of understanding the why, of why this is playing out and how it's occurring for you. Learn from this. Stay quiet. Quiet the mind too. Interesting. See what's underneath the deck. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, find that truth. That's what you're after now. The truth of you, the reasons behind, like I said, that why. Interesting. Let's get the After Tarot. Wow, I keep saying that. The Vice Versa Tarot. To find out possibly like some helpful tools or adjustments in perspective to allow you to step into that emotional vulnerability and mature the wisdom behind the lessons learned. So we have the Knight of Swords in the reversed position, technically. We have the Knight of Cups. The Four of Swords. And the Chariot again, but this time with motion. I like that progression. Interesting. I think I said Knight of Cups in pile 1 and it was a page. I need to fix that. So, okay. So what I'm feeling here, Spirit's advice, or Merlin's, I should say, advice or guidance on how to sort of take the lessons, is with this Knight of Swords, literally take that lesson and go forth with the new information that you have, that new sense of student energy. Be forgiving to yourself, to the past version of you, to the energy that you felt was necessary for whatever reason that didn't allow you to experience what you fully wanted to experience. So as they said, to stay quiet, to observe, that's that Four of Swords energy. As we rebuild the thoughts in the mind, the recalibrating the feelings in the body, the emotional lessons learned, so that you can step forward with that beautiful Chariot energy. Where now, if you can see here, the Sphinxes are now moving, Sphinx horses, whatever they're supposed to be, not moving, but moving in this forward direction, even though they're slightly looking in a different even if they're slightly looking in a different direction, their paws are still coming towards us. Whereas we see here in this depiction here, standstill, right? They're looking at each other, opposing, guarding. There's no movement here. There's a want to move, but there's like a standoff, And this energy ultimately brings you into that actual movement in the direction of what Merlin's coaxing you to do, or guiding you in, or choosing you for. You know, to be that teacher of all teachers, to be that student, to observe, to learn from past mistakes, from past sabotages, and take that torch, move it forward with grace. I love that. What's underneath the deck on the vice versa? Love it. Look at that. Queen of Wands, in her glory, in her energy, in her power, in her beauty, in her sensuality also, you know? And the passion for what you're learning, what you're teaching, what you're creating, what you've experienced, what you've gained, what you've lost. All of it. I love that. Okay, let's see where you actually are on this current dragon's path, my lovelies. We have the ancestors. Love that. The universe. Big energies, pile 3. Speak truth, like we talked about. That Ace of Swords right there. And the warrior. Yes. Yep. So where you are in your path currently, my love, is, again, Merlin, the ancestors, the oath, the highest perspective, that universal energy is all here for you to speak truth to yourself. Honor this oath. Honor that lesson within self, that understanding within self, to look at oneself, to continue to be that warrior, to step forward, to venture forward, to accomplish the success that you're looking for, to congratulate yourself for the hard work done, the hard work you're still doing, and the choices and clarity that you have and had to make to allow yourself to step into Merlin's guidance, technically, which is a part of this dragon's path that you're on. I love that. Wow. Okay, let's see, obviously with Merlin's energy, how else are you getting, excuse me, help on this dragon's path as you finish this journey? The healer. Wow. Wow, how fitting. It almost feels like where you ultimately end up is being that healer. You are also healed too with that star energy. Oh man, that's so good. The triple serpents here. I'm getting like this past, present, future, this ancestral lineage here. I'm also getting, I don't know if there's this is just coming out of my mouth now. It's like serpent medicine. I don't know if there's a certain type of like working, there has to be like some sort of practice that works with poisons to benefit, you know, like the beneficial aids of poisons. Like there's an energy about that too. Like again, alchemy, transmuting things. This is very interesting. It's that old soul, the light worker, the gifted, you know, that's why you have this oath. That's why Merlin is here, the teacher of all teachers. It's that reminder to return to remember, to reclaim this oath, my lovely. It's to move through the discomfort of forgetting who you are, forgetting the true power that lies within, to confront your denial, confront certain ignorances one may have had when it comes to oneself or dynamics or an area of life, a way of being. Understanding and knowing that the cycle of healing is not linear. And this fluctuation in sort of the perception of falling off the path, stepping into the path, is all a part of the path. So you'll end up feeling this like self-containment, this gratefulness, this feeling awake, quite literally, like awake finally, like out of a fog. But that's like out of the lack of clarity, that's speaking the truth, you know, that warrior energy. My lovely collective of pile 3, this was major. Such a beautiful energy, and everybody's lessons were beautiful and difficult. That is how the dragons work. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you the insight in the path, the dragon's path that you're currently experiencing. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, ciao.